Michelle are podcast's most interesting and loving couple. Join them every week as this radio personality and this author come together to let you into their lives.
Honey, you sent me this article, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
I was just trying to make sure you didn't cheat.
Okay, well... I'm mad you said that so... You said it so clearly.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've thought about that.
I mean, hey, I gotta protect myself out here.
I understand.
I thought
All right, so 3 strategies to cheat-proof your relationship according to a monogamy researcher.
First, can we establish who the becomes a monogamy researcher? Like, are you lonely?
Well, I guess you have to be that today. Somebody's got to be that today with everything that's becoming accepted.
Okay, fine. Whatever. Somebody needs this job. Do you get a degree
Lucia,
for that? Is that like an
online?
Like you can become a minister for $19.99? Can
I'm not
become
sure.
a monogamy researcher?
Let's
for
try to
$20?
figure it out. Maybe I think you do well at that.
I think so too.
I think you preach monogamy enough that you would do very well.
Thanks. I think so.
Lucia O'Sullivan, a professor
Okay,
at the University of
at
the University of New Brunswick, who studies monogamy.
Oh, she's in Canada. Okay.
On a recent episode of the podcast Sex and Psychology, hosted by Kinsey Institute, they explained the 3 strategies that successful monogamous couples use to be successful. To stop cheating, you have to recognize and avoid attraction. Stop acting on those instincts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you like, damn, that person's hot, or I definitely am, you know what I'm saying? I feel something for that person, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'll never be able to have that, I still feel something for that person. If you act on that, it's over. You've already opened the door. That's what they're saying here.
Okay. All right. Common sense. Good job.
Then if you act on your attraction verbally or physically, you're more likely to cheat. Again, more obvious stuff, right?
Hold on, but that's a respect thing. Because come on now. If we're in a relationship and you have a female friend that you're attracted to and you're hanging out with her, that's a me and you issue. Like, why are you spending all this quality time with someone that you know you're attracted to and you're in a relationship? Especially if it's a single somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I hate some of these because that's a respect thing. For me, it's so disrespectful for you. Like, it's one thing to say, like, oh, I have a friend and I know that she's pretty. It's another thing to be like, I have a pretty friend that I'd given the opportunity.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She found couples that maintain their monogamy tend to use 3 tactics. You ready for this?
Yeah.
They focus on their partner and how wonderful they are, which means consistently investing in the relationship through date nights and other forms of intimacy, said O'Sullivan. They focus on negative or obnoxious qualities when they're exposed to someone they otherwise find attractive outside of their relationship, and they think about the aftermath of cheating and all they would lose if they were unfaithful. And I think that all makes sense, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. Again, at the end of the day, cheating is a respect thing. Do you have enough respect for the person that you're with to not cheat on them? Or do you want something with this person enough to keep it in your pants?
And if you're going to cheat on them, are you going to open up to them about it? Are you really going to sleep next to them at night knowing you effed up?
Yeah.
If you can do that, you have no respect for that person and you shouldn't be together.
Absolutely. I agree with this.
Save that person from more bullshit in the future.
And save yourself. Like, I guess I can never understand how people can run around being the person who cheated, and people know, like, and I think especially as a woman, and I know this is unfair, sorry women, but as a woman, because it takes typically more. Like, it takes more of an emotional investment. It takes more time. It's not really common for women to just go out and smash a random dude at a bar. So that means that you've invested this time. You've spent time sleeping next to someone while you're having this double life. And that's just not an okay thing for me. I've always been of the mind that if I'm going to cheat on you, if I even think about cheating on you, then it's over. Our relationship is over. I remember in high school, I was dating this guy, and I told him, I said, I think I might cheat on you, so this isn't going to work anymore. Because I don't feel like Like, I don't feel like we have a future. I think I might cheat on you, and I'm cool with that. So we're just going to be done. And I live by that even to this day. If I think that I might cheat on you, I'm just going to be done. Because I'm not going to waste my time. And I'm not going to waste your time. Unless I feel like it's something we can fix. If I feel like you're not giving me something. But I'm also the type of person that I would tell you what I'm missing. Like, I would tell you.
I mean, if you got to that point, it's because they didn't give you that.
Yeah.
They didn't get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, these articles are very self-explanatory, but I think it's always good to bring up the topic of cheating and just understanding that respect is the main key here.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/Down in the DM pod, and that's how you can also find us on Twitter and TikTok at Down in the DM pod. And we're going to take care of our Instagram too, right?
Yeah.
Really soon.
We'll have an Instagram really soon.
We'll have an Instagram for you guys so that you can go follow us there. Thank you to everybody who's been checking us out all over the place, whether on YouTube and some of the exclusive videos we've put up there. I know the video went all over Facebook of us doing the songs.
Yeah, my family loved it so much.
That had fast food references.
We're going to bring you guys more stuff like that, too. As we get closer to holidays and things happen, we're going to start sharing a lot of those out here.
You wanted to talk about this for a while.
Oh, yeah, I'm really excited about this.
So, just a backstory. Princess Mako, the niece of Emperor Naruhito, wed her longtime love Kei Kamuro in Tokyo on October 26. While many royal weddings are marked with a grand celebration, the couple's nuptials were quiet. According to the New York Times, there was a trip to the registry office handled by royal representative. The Associated Press also reported that there was no wedding banquet or other marriage rituals because Mako is marrying a commoner. Following the nuptials, the New York Times noted that Mako, who will now be referred to just as Mako Kamuro, may move to New York, where her husband works at a law firm. The AP also reported that she turned down a payment of 140 million yen, approximately $1.2 million, which she was entitled to receive for leaving the imperial family. As a result, the bride and groom will live off Kamuro's salary. Even the kids that they have will not have any royal status. So what did you want to say about this?
So I love. And I love this. I really hope that it works for them. I feel like if you find someone and you know that that's your person, like, I would do this. I would do this for you. If I was a princess, they were like, he's common. Cool. I'm common now too. Like, that's fine. I love. And I love that she even got to do like a final screw you to her family. And she was like, look, I don't even want your money. I'm out.
Yeah, keep your $1 million. I'm still gonna get married to the person I love. Yeah.
And he has, built a career for himself.
This happened with Harry and Meghan, right? In a sense,
yes. But the reality for them, though, was Harry. He wasn't gonna get anything first.
Right. Okay. It was gonna be a really long time.
Even William's kids were like above Harry in the line of succession. But she was up there.
She was a princess.
She could have taken the throne.
Yes.
So she could have been an empress out here. And she was like, no, I found someone that I love, and this is the life. Like, I don't want to live as a princess. I want to live as a wife. And I love that for this reason. And you and I talk about this all the time. Like, so many people don't marry for love anymore. They marry for status. They marry for financial security. They marry because they don't want to be alone. But it's
or the
rare.
Pressure to have to concede to their family and like, hey, look, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm giving you grandkids, whatever.
Or, they could have married her off.
True.
They could have married her off. Instead, she's like, I'm walking away from all of this, and I'm going to do what happiness looks like for me. And that's why I wanted to talk about this story, because I respect women and men who choose happiness over everything.
Happiness over any expectancies or any, like, I love this too. I mean, I didn't know what the hell was going on here, but I definitely can agree with you. She said, F you and your money. I don't want anything. I want to be with this guy. And she got married to a common man. And I love that. Good for her. I really hope it works out. So what happens, and of course I don't want this to happen to anybody, but what happens if they do get a divorce? She wouldn't even be able to get that title back, right?
I mean, I'm assuming not, because she relinquished it. Like
it's done.
It's done. She relinquished her. I'm sure there's probably a way. Like, I'm sure there's a loophole somewhere, but she relinquished it. And, honestly, I don't think she would. Mm-hmm. I think if you get to a point where you say this life isn't for me, just like you mentioned Harry and Meghan.
Harry wasn't going to be a prince. He didn't like being a part of that. He really just wanted to be an everyday dude. Yeah.
And I think when you get to that point of like, I know what I want my life to look like and this isn't it, walking away isn't hard. It's not hard to walk away from something if you know what happiness looks like for you, or if you have an idea of what your life is going to look like.
The trajectory of your life. Yeah.
And if being a princess wasn't her trajectory, she was okay with that. And obviously, I mean, she married him. So it's not like they just got together. It mentions that he was a longtime boyfriend.
This was a process.
Yeah. She went through a process. They had probably a bunch of conversations. He probably at one point told her, like, you don't have to give up this for me. Because she could have kept dating him and they could have never gotten married. And she could have stayed a princess. And that's the thing, like the underlying part of the article that I really wanted to bring attention to. She's been a princess while dating him for a while.
Oh, so what's the problem now? Right?
Yeah. The problem is, like they're married now, and now it's an issue. But they've been dating for a while.
Yeah, you knew that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, eventually when you're with somebody for a while, you're going to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Let us know what you think. Check this out on our social media. We'll make sure to put it up there. Down in the DM pod, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can find us there, and you could also join our group where we're a little more intimate. You might see us sing there really soon.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hi, handsome.
This article is a really good one. Don't get engaged unless you've talked about these 5 things with your partner.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, a lot of them are very obvious, but I think it's so important to get to every angle of these topics.
I agree.
Landis Beeger, a wedding therapist, the founder of I'll Talk, told Insider that you shouldn't only talk about whether or not you want children, but also what exactly having children will look like for you with your partner early on in your relationship. How many? What are your views on parenting? This therapist also recommends asking, how were you parented and what were your experiences being parented? What were your relationships like with your parents growing up and how are they now? What do you envision would be your ideal version of that or if you do want to become a parent? So, again, all very important angles you got to take, especially when it comes to parenting your children and meeting eye to eye with that.
I agree. It also mentions in this article about what roles do you want your parents to play in your child's life. And that's something people don't always discuss. So then you end up in situations where your parents are telling you, oh, well, this is how I raised you. This must be how you raise your kid. Or you hear a lot of, I wouldn't accept that, or I would do this differently. And it's okay if it's coming from outside of your house, but when you're at home, you definitely have to be on the same page with those things.
And I think, too, you have to set that boundary with your family and whoever really is trying to make those comments.
I agree.
You know, these are my children. You raise your children how you raise yours. I'll never tell you how to raise your children.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something you have to hammer home and you have to create that boundary. And if it's not respected, then that's when you have to really start thinking about pulling yourself away because, of course, your family is the most important thing now.
Right. And then establish for people what their role in your child's life is. You're a grandparent. Be a grandparent. You're an aunt or an uncle. Be an aunt or an uncle.
Mm-hmm. Another one on the list was talk about money. As much as people don't like to talk about it, Money is one of the things that's going to drive the both of you together because of figuring out how bills are going to be and things for the children, things for the pets, things for all that.
And start before kids and before pets. I believe the moment you decide, hey, I want to move in with someone, that's the moment, whether you're going to get engaged or married or whatever, that's the moment, the first time you need to converse about finances, is the moment you decide, I'm going to take the step of moving in with someone.
That's true.
And then once you open the door for that communication, you're able to continue having that communication.
Right. Cultural and religious differences. We talked about this early on.
Yeah.
So all of these things we talked about really early, but this is definitely one of them. You asked me what my thoughts were on spirituality and what, who was God to me. And I told you what I thought.
You did. And I let you know at the time, like, my faith is so important to me. And it wasn't something, like, I wasn't willing to say, turn my back on my faith for you. And that's a conversation people need to have. I know someone who I care deeply about, and she got divorced after over 30 years of marriage because her husband decided that her relationship with God was not what he wanted. Like, he felt like she was giving more of herself to her faith than she was to him. And she told him, like, I gave you and my kids all of me for over 30 years, and I don't feel right about it anymore. I need to start putting God first in my life again. So, that was really interesting to speak with her and to hear that after over 30 years of marriage, she was getting divorced. And the main reason she got divorced is because she said to her husband, I'm putting God first now. And she had never done that before. She, put her faith on the back burner to have a family, and she's regretted it for a long time.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It does.
It makes sense, but you can't buy that time back, and that's why you got to you always have to choose something. Take it or leave it. I had great advice given to me by a good friend of mine a couple of years ago, and he literally said that to me. I was conflicted about what I should do in my relationship, and, that I wasn't really fully happy and all these things, and he was like, bro, take it or leave it.
Well,
it's either one way or the other.
And I have a lot of respect for the relationships that you have with a lot of your male friends, because they're not afraid to say to you, like, hey, you had to make a choice, my dude. Or they'll even ask you what changed for you.
Yeah.
Like, what changed for you to make you choose this? And are you happy with that choice? I really respect the bonds that you built with your male friends, because you're able to go to them and you're able to say, I'm feeling conflicted about this. Help me. And then they do.
And I think, yes, and that's very important for men to have.
Yeah.
Men need to realize, like, we really need each other as bros. You know what I'm saying? For our mental health. I'm telling you, it is so real.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be where I am, and I wouldn't be heading down the path that I'm heading down now if it weren't for some of my friends that I have, some of my male friends.
Yeah.
So I always appreciate that. And then the last thing on the list that they highlight is sex. You shouldn't assume that you and your partner will automatically be on the same page about sex. And that's big too.
That is big. And
especially as you get older, things are changing, and you might have to be on medications. You might, you know what I'm saying? Work might tire you out, whatever it may be. But things are not going to be always, spicy. We're banging every day.
And not even just sex, but intimacy as a whole.
Yes.
You guys, as a couple, you have to determine, what does intimacy look like for me? What is it that I need, that I know that I need from my partner? And am I with someone who I can say, hey, I need you to hold me? Like, forget sex or whatever. I need to know that I'm with someone that I can say, hey, I need you to hold me for a second.
Yeah.
And I think that we put such an importance on sex that we forget about intimacy as a whole. You and I, throughout the entire day, every day, have so many casual, reassuring touches. Just all the time. Mm-hmm. We're constantly reassuring each other. Whether it's hugging, whether it's laid up on the couch, whatever it is, there's a lot of intimacy that happens that's not sexually based. We don't just come together and have sex. And I think people place... Shut up. Why are you a piece of
I knew exactly what was happening there,
Okay. Okay.
You have very
piece of
good self-control, honey.
Okay.
All right.
I thought so. Okay. We're done with this article. We're going to put it on our page. Let us know what you think. If you have anything to add, if you have any takeaways from this article, if your boyfriend's a piece of
Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Find us all over social media, down in the DM pod. Hi, beautiful.
Hi, handsome.
This story is nuts. So I love that we always find some of the same stuff.
And then we send it to each other.
Yeah, and then we send it to each other as if we didn't see it.
Yeah.
Because you sent me an article, which I'm so shocked they wrote an article about this. Because these videos are so common online now.
Well, they don't have nothing else to talk about, so.
But this best man caught his friend's wife cheating on his friend. A husband's best man is getting a lot of praise after he caught his friend's wife cheating with a bartender 18 months after their wedding. A clip has gone viral with the wife Nina climbing out of the lap of a man that isn't her husband, and the best man, James, was filming and asked what she was doing. She didn't seem to remember who he was at first because he had to remind him that he was the best man at her wedding. He didn't make a big scene and just asked who the guy was and then ended the video. The video was uploaded and James was obviously getting a lot of praise for actually being the best man, you know? So I have the video if you want to hear how he confronted them.
I do want to hear this. However, I do want to say he shouldn't get that much credit. Like, for me, if Terica found you cheating and she sent me proof, fine. You sent me proof. But don't put my dirty laundry all over the internet. Because that's the issue. That's the only issue I have with this. Is like, you were the best man at the wedding. So yeah, tell your friend. But no one's giving you a pat on the back for putting their dirty laundry on the internet.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Here's the video.
How you guys doing? Nina, what's going on here?
Yep, you know exactly what it is.
Tell me what's going on.
You know exactly.
Who's this guy? That's not your husband, right?
No.
You don't look like a husband to me. I don't blame you. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
James.
I'm James. I was the best man. This is Nina. This is my best friend's wife. So are you the bartender?
Not only, but yes.
Okay.
Not only, but yes. I think she was tending his bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Nina, do your dirty laundry a little better.
Nina, why would you go to a bar in the same area as your husband's best friend?
She doesn't care about that man.
Okay, there is that.
Excellent. Well, you guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
She said, nope. He said, is that your husband? She said, nope. That's so
Okay. Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah, well, you know, look, I always hope to have men in my life that would do that same thing, but I also don't have to worry about my woman cheating on me, and that's a big thing.
That's facts. She's got a piece of name anyway. Like, who would marry a Nina?
Nina's such a hoe name.
Right, it
Especially
is.
because Ninas are pretty.
Yeah.
So like most Ninas are pretty hot, and so those are the ones you dog out.
Yeah.
But I
They're
can't.
like the Kylie Jenners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you get it.
Yeah. Burger King bathroom, that bitch. That's what she needs to do.
Creepy DMs. I can't believe some of these people have the audacity to say this, not only to strangers, but to other humans.
Yeah.
Jessica is saying that a guy in my friend's class got her number and started messaging her, and she has already told him she has a boyfriend, but he still wanted to shoot a shot, okay?
Okay.
He says, when are you free? Just come over straight to my apartment. Don't worry, we'll just listen to music. Don't worry, we won't have sex. Then he continues to say, just come over wearing a crop top with your tiniest booty shorts and with only a G-string underneath.
Okay. So I feel like this man is auditioning for To Catch a Predator.
Yeah, right.
Someone needs to forward that to Chris Hansen out here.
Last thing he was missing was pigtails. Make sure your hair's in pigtails.
And don't
so
forget
you
your
look like
Catholic girl socks. Yeah, get the socks. That
was wild, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Ashley sending this one in to us. Does that mean your boyfriend's there or no? She says no. He says, okay, LOL. Can you send me nudes? Please? Please? She says no. He goes, why? She goes, why would you ask a stranger that? He says, no. You're not a stranger. We just met an hour ago.
Hey, that's the hallmark of friendship, okay?
Yeah.
You watch a movie for 87 minutes, they're friends for the rest of their life, so like that's legit, you know what I'm saying? Like
This guy really was trying to get some pictures after an hour, and he
But
thought
sh-
that was a feasible time.
But that's on her though, because if she has a boyfriend and
She shouldn't have kept responding.
She shouldn't have given him the number in the first place. You just met this man an hour ago. Why did you give him your phone
That's
number if
real.
you're in a
That's
happy
real,
relationship?
Michelle.
So that's what she gets.
That's real.
And she should send him nudes as collateral. Like
I agree with
yeah, like you already put your foot in
Ashley,
it, Ashley.
come on.
Just take your clothes off. It's fine.
And then Kelvin, this is a guy who sent this one in. Want to show you my big, thick, yummy C?
Whew.
In which he responds, I'm a dude, so unless you're already gay as F, you're now gay as F. Plus, I have standards, and garbage disposal waste would meet them easier than you ever would. That was a pretty good comeback.
I mean, I agree. Shout out waste management companies out
I
here.
also believe this guy's very heterosexual.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if anything gave it away. But that's Creepy DMs. Send us some Creepy DMs in our email down in the dmpod@gmail.com. Or you can use the hashtag DITDM on social media and attach a screenshot there, and we'll read them on the air or on the podcast.
Oh yeah, and don't leave your pets out of the situation, people, please.
Ooh, that was tough.
Yeah.
I could not do that one on the radio. I couldn't do that one.
Yeah,
that was so aggressive.
Let's leave them out of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Yeah, it is. Honey.
Hi, baby.
Hi. This question was posed to us on social media, and I wanted to bring it to you because we talk about stuff like this all the time. And it's, would you delete your social media for a healthy relationship?
No. No. I wouldn't. If my relationship is not healthy, take social media out. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This could be like telling me don't be friends with anybody for a healthy relationship. If my relationship's not healthy, it's just not going to be healthy.
That's facts.
So it's weird that social media would be the thing. See, I'll tell you this much. There's so many times in my past where I've thought about getting rid of social media, and the only reason why I can't is because of my presence on radio and what I do. Podcasting and all that stuff like that, you have to engage in some way. Even if you're not getting much engagement back, you should put your thoughts out there. People want to feel connected to you. So I've always needed my social media, but it has no connection to my relationship, because if you're in an unhealthy relationship, or if you're just a piece of that's just how it's going to be.
I mean, and to further expound on that, if you are oversharing, you and I regularly have conversations about what is and is not acceptable to put on social media. Mm-hmm. You know, people who go to social media talking about their arguments with their dudes, or, you know, their arguments with their girlfriends, or what have you, that's a giant red flag. I don't need 63 comments about an argument that I have with you. You and I are going to sit and we're going to work it out outside. Like, social media never needs to know that we had an issue about whether or not the toilet paper should hang in the front or the back. The front, by the way.
Facts.
Okay. I was
always over, never under.
Yeah,
yes.
That's dumb. that's bananas. But I think that this post is too broad. Because no, I'm not deleting my social media. I wrote a book. We need social media. People need to feel connected. I've got family all over the country. I'm not deleting my social media. However, when you're in a relationship, the amount of access that people get to your private life needs to change. And I think that needs to be the question. Not would you delete your social media, but how should you behave on social media?
How will you use it? Yeah.
Yeah. And are you going to use it to keep your relationship healthy?
We haven't changed how we used it.
Never.
You put up quotes. You put up, and not even quotes, they're thoughts from you.
Yeah.
But you put up thoughts. You put up songs. It's nothing different from what you were doing before we got together. And it's the same thing here. I post about music. I post about politics. I post about radio stuff. And it's nothing different from what I was posting before we got together.
Yeah, and we talk about it, you know? We have conversations. Should this go on social media? Are you okay if I post this? And I think that's where people mess up, is instead of having those conversations, they're just posting it and then deleting the post. Or they're posting it and they're getting all kinds of negative attention, and they're going back and saying, don't talk about my relationship. Well, you posted it. And now everyone feels like they have a right to your privacy.
And when you feel like you can run to social media with good news before you share it with your partner, that's a red flag too.
Yeah, that is an issue.
That's a red flag. If social media is finding out your wins before your partner who can celebrate with you, there's a problem there.
Or even your losses. You know, or literally anything in between. Mm-hmm. When I was in the hospital, I posted updates about me being in the hospital for my family. But there was never anything that went on at the hospital that you didn't know first as my partner. And people treat social media as, well, it's my social media. Well, it is your social media, but when you start tagging your partner in stuff, you have to take their feelings into account.
Yes.
And that's, you know, that doesn't always happen in the world that we live in. People don't take their partner's feelings into account. They just, well, it's my social media. If you don't like it, get off my page. Mm-hmm. And then you have a problem because your significant other has blocked you from their social media.
Yeah, exactly. Social media, just like anything else, is a problem if you let it be. Yeah. And you are in control of that. And we talk about this all the time. It ties into exactly what we talked about earlier, respect. You know, we talked about it in the cheating conversation. If you don't have respect, you won't treat your partner with respect via social media either.
So let us know, how do you handle social media and your relationship?
Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Down in the DM Pod. Every week on the podcast, we are doing some unpopular opinions. We get to share some thoughts with you that a lot of people may not share. And this time, mine are about Christmas toys, baby showers.
Oh, baby showers are a piece of shit.
Yeah, and then privacy from your partner. Give me some of your unpopular opinions before we get to mine, though.
Okay, so I have one that I really appreciate because it's so true. And it says that you shouldn't have to argue with your partner over where you spend the holidays. And I agree with that. Like, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean it has to be an argument. I feel like we could go Christmas in the morning with my family and dinner with yours, or we can switch off. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that people argue about where they're going to spend their holidays. If I spend Thanksgiving with your family, I expect you to spend Christmas with mine.
There has to be an equal somewhere.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also have one that says if it's okay to tan, then skin lightening should be acceptable.
Like bleaching?
Yeah, like bleaching. And I don't disagree with that. Like, I'm not going to do it, but I don't feel like people who bleach their skin should be judged any more harshly than people who are tanning.
It's your damn skin.
Yeah, do what you want.
We had Snooki out here looking like a pumpkin.
I mean,
because of how much
tanning
she did
from Australia.
And that's fine, you know what I'm saying? But if you just understand you're gonna look like a pumpkin, you're gonna have the orange tint on you.
Or you can look like Michael.
Or you could look like Michael.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And this one I actually like a lot. I hate that they're replacing traditional outlets with USB plugs. I hate that.
Oh, yeah.
Give me my freaking outlet. I don't want to have to USB everything. Plus, I want batteries, and I want to know that if I plug it into the wall, I'm still going to be able to use it. Like, I feel like USB outlets are really overrated. The fact that they're making dressers and nightstands and all these different things with USB ports is so stupid to me.
Well, I hate it because you don't get to choose the wattage.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're probably getting maybe a 10 or 12 watt thing in there. I like the 15s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The 15 watt plugs. So now you're going to limit me on my plugs?
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah, that one was too much for me too. So give me my outlets back.
I agree with this one. Toy drives should focus on older children instead of babies and toddlers.
I agree.
I mean, they're not going to be able to use those damn toys. It's, you know, especially how the toys for kids, especially for toddlers, they have the age range on them.
Yeah.
And they'll say, 6 months to a year. Like, that's such a waste of money.
And that's if you can get your kid to play with it in the first place. Because the reality is, I know a lot of people's kids that would rather play with a box than play with the $125 toy that came in the box.
Yeah. And then also, if a friend hasn't reached out to you for over a year and then invites you to their baby shower or their wedding or some type of damn gift celebration, you should not feel guilty about not going or sending a gift.
Oh my God, I agree with this so freaking much. Like, don't send me an invitation to something where you expect me to bring something, and that's not even just friends, that's family too.
Just because you want an extra gift, you're just being
just because
greedy.
you want a gift. You don't want to see me. If you wanted to see me, I would have seen you before now. You just want me to bring you a gift. Don't send me a link to your baby registry or fucking wedding registry out here, and I haven't talked to you.
Yeah.
If I haven't talked to you in 90 days, don't send me shit.
I agree with that. I also don't understand the people who need privacy from their partner.
Yeah, that's
what
tough.
What kind of privacy do you need if you've decided that you're gonna live with this person and make a life with them?
Yeah, that's...
You don't need no privacy. Nothing is yours anymore.
No, you're sharing a life. The whole reason that you move in with someone that you're in a relationship with is because you're willing to blend your life with that person's life. We don't need privacy. And I think that people also misconstrue privacy and alone time.
Yes.
Like, it's okay to take 5 minutes to yourself. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in having secrets. Like, just because I take 5 minutes to myself doesn't mean you're not going to know what I did during that 5 minutes. It just means I took 5 minutes to myself.
5 minutes to myself is in the same vicinity as my partner.
Yeah. Well, and then there's things that we do. You know, like there's things I appreciate a nice long bath. And a lot of times that's my time where I'm alone. Like sometimes I'm not. But a lot of times when I'm taking a bath, you might be doing something in the studio. You might be listening to music, watching YouTube. That's my alone time. I'm listening to a book. I'm taking a bath. You know exactly what I'm doing. You know exactly where I am. You have access to me. But it's okay for us to be separate.
Or when I go off to play games
Yeah.
with my bros. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm in here and I'm doing stuff on the computer and you're laying in the bedroom.
I have a good segue for this that we'll talk about. I have an article that I'm going to talk to you about that brings up privacy from your partner. So I'm glad this is one of your opinions today.
Use the hashtag DITDM opinion to submit any unpopular opinions you hold. We want to know exactly what you're thinking, and maybe we just will agree with them.
Maybe.
All right.